Today I've assembled some materials here in preparation for making a paper quilt, and I have several jelly print collage papers that I've made, and I like so many of them, and yet they sit in my file folder and get unused. So today I thought I'd choose some and make a paper quilt. I have my materials here. This is an 8x8 mixed media pad. I've got some paint shapers for applying a gloss medium to as an adhesive, and I've got my Fisker's paper cutter here so I can get some precise cuts for my paper quilt. The first thing I did was tape off my 8x8 square of mixed media paper. I like having a nice white border around the edges. And then I measured it out and decided on 9 2¼ inch squares, which I sorted through my jelly collage papers and decided on different patterns. I then used my Fisker's rotary cutter to cut them into my 2¼ inch squares. Next, I created my palette of various colors, ranging from reds through the oranges and into the blues and purples. So the next step will be to create a patchwork quilt, a paper quilt. I've had fun playing with the different pieces of collage that I've cut out, and now I'm going to start gluing them in. Let's see. It's always like playing with a puzzle, trying to decide which pieces really work together. So I've tried to get certain color combinations and some warm colors and some cool colors. I've decided to just tape 2 sides so that I have, a guiding line for each row. So let's get to this. Now I'm using gloss medium, but as I mentioned, you can use Elmer's glue. You can use a glue stick, whatever adhesive really works for you. Okay. I'm using jelly prints because I have a pretty good stash of them, but you could certainly use any collage papers you might have, even magazines, old books that you have, to get some text in here if you'd like. Lots of choices. You want to get enough adhesive on here so it holds it down nicely. I think as a collage artist, I often have difficulty throwing anything away, so my stash tends to grow and grow. Okay, that's the last piece. Now to make sure that I get a nice seal here, you could use a brayer, you know, your hand, you know, basically anything that's just going to make sure that it's really down there nice and secure. Okay, now let's get that tape off. The nice thing about the painter's tape is that it's a low tack tape, so it usually comes off pretty nicely without tearing the paper below. Not always, but usually. Okay, and then one last thing I always like to do is just get a mat, a nice white mat, and that gives you a very good idea as to how nice this can look. It isolates it and keeps it nice and clean. So I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please feel free to give a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.